out here. Today we are celebrating a very, very special occasion. And since we are all here, I thought why not begin with a small little relatable activity because it's rare that we are catching up like this in person. So let's actually do this, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to be with me on this. I'm just going to give you a few statements, a few sentences. If you relate to that sentence, you'll just need to have both your hands up in the air and you say, "That's me." That's me as loud as possible with both your hands in the air. Like for example, if I say, let's say if I were wearing a green sari or a green dress, I'm not, I'm just saying, if I were, I would say, "I'm wearing a green dress." And everyone who's here wearing a green dress would say, "That's me." Okay, so it's as simple as that. Let's begin with statement number one. Here we go. I love having a nice, fresh, hot cup of coffee every day in the morning. Okay, very good. All right, moving on to the next statement. Breakfast is my most favorite meal of the day. Okay. I have siblings. Fantastic. All right. I've got both the shots of my vaccine. All right. I feel alive today. All right. I see a few hands didn't go up. We are at a hospital. I'm just saying. All right. Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, great to see you out here. A very warm good morning. Namaskara. Vanakkam. Welcome to all our friends from the media. We have some of our dignitaries who have joined us here today as well. Suswagatam. My name is Sriram Sulya. I'm going to be your host for this special occasion. We have plenty of people who are joining us on the virtual front as well, taking a look at the entire event on our YouTube channel. Welcome one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital Sankalp Bone Marrow Transplant Unit in memory of Mechtild Harf, in memory of Mechtild Harf, of course. In the state-of-the-art facility, about 120 children suffering from blood cancer or blood disorders such as thalassemia or aplastic anemia will receive life-saving treatment every single year. In its mission, of course, to improve the access to transplantation for patients in need, Dkms, I'm proud to say, has funded the new BMT Centre, the Bone Marrow Transplantation Centre. The new unit is located on the 7th floor of this very building at Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital and is being operated by the non-profit organization Sankalp India Foundation with the medical advice support of Cure to Children. Now, this new facility is special as it is named after Mechtild Harf, loving wife and mother of 2 children who lost her battle against leukemia. Her husband, that is Peter Harf, founded Dkms in the year 1991. Mechtild's fate turned a small private initiative into the largest international network of blood stem cell donors centers in the world with sites in 7 countries on 5 different continents. That is a matter of pride. And today we are here to celebrate another milestone in Dkms history. Ladies and gentlemen, the new BMT unit that will help patients suffering from blood cancer and blood disorders to get access to life-saving stem cell transplants. How about a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so very much for your presence. Lovely to meet you all here today. To begin with, I'd like to invite Dr. Elke Neujahr, Global Chief Executive Officer, Dkms Group, to tell you a little bit about Dr. Elke. She has been the Global CEO of the Dkms Group since 2019. With heart, soul, and entrepreneurial courage, she leads the international organization, which now has 7 locations on 5 different continents and is dedicated to a common goal that we all resonate with, that is finding a matching donor for every blood cancer patient, and providing access to transplantation everywhere in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Dr. Elke as she takes stage. How about a big round of applause? Thank you so very much.
Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to the attending journalists. Good that you made it. For us, it's also a long trip, and I need to say it's wonderful to be here by person and to be ready to speak to you today. And therefore, we are really happy to have you here. I have the pleasure to represent Dkms with its more than 1,000 committed people around the globe. You just mentioned it. We are in 7 countries on 5 continents. We are an international non-profit organization that is dedicated to the fight against blood cancer and other blood disorders such as Thalassemia and Aplastic Anemia. The reason why we are here today is the inauguration of the Bone Marrow Transplant unit in memory of Mechtild Harf. And this is also supported by Cure to Children. Unfortunately, Laurence Faulkner could not be here. We will speak later about that. And it's deeply embedded in our history that we are here today. Our story, like so many others, began with a family fighting to save someone they loved. Katharina Harf, she is our chairwoman and she's Mechtild's daughter, could not manage to come here today, but she has recorded a message for us, which I would really like to share with you now.
30 years ago, my mother was diagnosed with leukemia. Her only hope was a stem cell transplant. With no matching donor in our family, my father literally moved mountains to find a matching donor for her. Despite our best efforts, she ultimately lost her battle. Before she passed away, though, she made my father promise her that he would continue fighting for other patients, so no family would have to go through what we experienced. Driven by this promise, my father founded Dkms in 1991, and since then we have registered over 11 million donors and have given more than 95,000 patients a second chance at life. Our commitment to the mission has remained strong, ensuring that we can provide as many patients as possible access to transplantation. It means the world to me to be able to honor my mother's legacy with a partnership between Dkms, Cure to Children, and Sankalp Foundation with the new Bone Marrow Transplant Center at the BMJH Hospital. I'm a mother of 2 myself, and I have just given birth to a beautiful baby boy. It fills my heart with joy to know that 120 children in need of a stem cell transplant will be treated in this unit every year. It is my big dream that patients all over the world have the chance to be cured and that other families do not have to feel the devastating pain of losing a loved one. I wish I could have joined you today in person to say hello to the patients and their families and thank you for your incredible work. I hope to come to Bangalore very soon to meet you and express my deep gratitude for all you do. Thank you.
Yes, thanks to Katharina. It would have been wonderful if she could have joined us here today. You just heard that she has given birth to a little baby boy who is really sweet. And I know that this special day means so much for her, for Peter Harf, and for the whole Dkms family. It's only a few days ago that on the 16th of September, the Harf family commemorated the 30th anniversary of Mechtild's death. Her fate turned a small private initiative into the largest international network of blood stem cell donor centers in the world. To this day, Mechtild's legacy lives in our mission and in our hearts, in the work that we do, and in Katharina's aspiration that no more families should suffer and be torn apart because of blood cancer or any other blood disorder. Currently, we at Dkms have 11 million registered donors worldwide. To date, and thanks to our donors worldwide, we have been able to provide almost 95,000 patients with a life-saving stem cell donation from an unrelated donor. We are operating in 7 countries on 5 continents. We are active in Germany, where we started our history, then the US, Poland, the United Kingdom, Chile, and South Africa. And here in India, we have formed a joint venture with our partner, the Bangalore Medical Service Trust, which is wonderful, a wonderful partnership. When we joined forces in 2019, we also made a promise. At our Dkms BMST launch event, we said that we will make it our mission to significantly improve the situation of Indian patients. To increase the chances of Indian patients to find a suitable donor, Dkms BMST has registered more than 50,000 potential blood stem cell donors in India and was able to provide already 40 second chances at life from Indian donors. And this is incredible. If you think that we are in the pandemic situation and our team here in India has managed to get 50,000 donors registered. Our dream, that I might say, in the next 10 years is that we will reach the 5 million. That's why we are here. And formally, I urge each and every one of you to join our Dkms family and to register for this noble cause that we have. And you may be someone's lifesaver. This is why we are here. However, in India, as well as in many low and middle income countries around the world, the lack of unrelated blood stem cell donors is not the only drawback. And there are not enough capacities in hospitals to provide medical treatment and necessary care. This is what we want and need to change in order to keep our promise and to significantly improve the situation for patients here in India. The fight against blood disorders can only be won with a holistic approach. This means 30 years after our foundation, we have therefore expanded our mission and are advancing our cause. In addition to registering as many potential blood stem cell donors as possible, we go out for our way to improve the access to transplantation so that more patients can receive life-saving therapies. To address the challenges so many thousands of families in India, as well as in other countries, are faced with, we have established several support programs which I would love to present. These are 3. First, our aim is to reduce the financial burden on patients in need and to help build a better base for treatment. To be able to this, we are collaborating with non-profit organizations who are fighting the same cause like we. Our common aim is always to facilitate access to blood stem cell transplantation. Two of our most important partners in India here are the Sankalp India Foundation and Cure to Children. Let me briefly introduce our programs to improve the access to transplantations, and these, as I already said, are three ones. First, with our Bcms patient funding program to lessen the financial barriers of transplantation, we want to give patients hope for a healthy future. With this program, we intend to facilitate access to transplantation by contributing to the costs of the blood stem cell transplantation for patients who would otherwise not receive treatment. With our contributions to treatment costs, 216 patients have received a stem cell transplantation so far, and we will continue. One of these patients was 7-year-old Srinidhi. Hi, he's here today. And this is wonderful because he will say small words here today. I'm very happy to see you because Srinidhi, he was diagnosed with beta thalassemia when he was just 6 months of age. And the dear mother, who's also here today, she was identified as his lifesaver and donated her blood stem cells. Srinidhi received the transplant 6 months ago, just 6 months ago, at the transplant unit operated by Sankalp. Secondly, our Dkms free HLA typing program to identify family donors and to support donor searches to help patients to find the perfect match. This is the first step for a patient in need of a blood stem cell transplant. With this program, we aim to identify family donors by covering HLA typing costs for patients and for their family members. This tissue typing test via buccal swabs, these are these tissues that you move in your mouth, you know that already. These tissues we use to match patients and donors. That's very important for the whole process. We also support unrelated donor searches for patients who do not find a suitable family donor. Third, our Dkms capacity building program to empower a better tomorrow. With this program, we want to help build a better base for treatment. And this is why we are here today. Every year in India, imagine, more than 10,000 children are born with thalassemia. The need for blood stem cell transplants in sick children, I'm sorry, in sick children is therefore extremely high, while the existing capacities do not suffice. With medical expertise and advice from Cure to Children and our financial support, Sankalp has built the BMT unit in memory of Mechtild Harf to provide more patients with life-saving therapy. And you would be amazed if you would see in the 7th floor the wonderful station I could visit on Monday. That was so heartwarming. It touched me so much. I cannot say it's a hospital. It's a wonderful area for children, and they all feel very, very fine there, with animals on the walls and with wonderful playing ground. It's really nice made, and every detail was thought about. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 years after our foundation, Dkms cause has become an international one. It is only possible to help patients worldwide if we collaborate with local partners, like we do here. We are thus very grateful to be able to support Sankalp. If we want to prevent families from suffering the loss of a loved one, like our founder's family did, we need to help where help is needed. It is a great honor of Dr. Peter Harf, who founded the Dkms, and for Katharina Harf, who is our chairwoman, and a milestone for me and my organization and the whole Dkms family that the first BMT unit in memory of Mechtild Harf opens its doors today, for children in need of a blood stem cell transplant. The story of Dkms is a story of hope, and we will never stop, and we will never accept a no as an answer, because we have to do so much. We will continue on our journey, which we start here today with a very special day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Elke. It's wonderful to know the work that's been happening by Dkms for this noble cause. Thank you so very much for addressing this gathering. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would request Mr. Lalit Parmar, President, Sankalp India Foundation, to take us through the journey of the new BMT unit and about the work being done by Sankalp India Foundation. As you can see, he can't wait to address you all. To tell you a little bit about Mr. Lalit here, he's a telecommunications engineer by education and a business development executive by profession. Mr. Lalit has played a pivotal role in the growth of Sankalp over the years. The blood donation program of Sankalp expanded rapidly under his leadership, and over the past few years, he has been instrumental in enabling Sankalp's relationships with several partner organizations to set up thalassemia daycare centers and both the transplant facilities run by Sankalp as well. He's actively involved in policy making to enhance cost consciousness, scalability, as well as sustainability of Sankalp. Mr. Lalit, over to you, please, sir.
Good morning, everybody. So the story of Sankalp began about 17 years ago in 2003 as a voluntary blood donation organization. So as we were helping people in need of blood and ensuring their blood donation, voluntary blood donors donate blood, we came across thalassemia in the year 2011 and started our first thalassemia center at that time. So today we manage about 16, we are involved in about 16 thalassemia centers throughout the country, managing about 2,000 children. So all of these children require transplantation and they can be cured due to bone marrow transplantation. So in order to have a transplantation, you need to know who is a donor for the patient. So that was made accessible through the Dkms program of HLA typing. So we have done about HLA typing for about 4,000 families now across India through the Dkms program, and we have almost like 800 to 900 patients who are waiting for transplantation. So now once the patient is identified for transplantation, then he's worked upon for the transplantation in the thalassemia centers. Then when he's ready for transplantation, he's coming to our bone marrow transplantation centers in Ahmedabad and the one which we are here to inaugurate at this juncture. So this facility will provide access to about 100 to 120 patients will be undergoing transplantation here, along with the post-transplant care with the intensive care unit as part of the facility. So now let us now walk through a virtual tour of the facility. Thank you. So we would like to thank Dkms, Kyoto Children and BMJH for making this possible. It's a really big dream coming true today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. The facility looks lovely. Thank you so very much for that virtual tour. And for the children, it does not feel like we are in a hospital setting whatsoever. Thank you so very much for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, our next spokesperson, Dr. Laurence Faulkner, Medical Coordinator from Kyoto Children Foundation, couldn't join us here today, but he has sent us a video message all the way from Italy. Let's hear from him. Please orient yourself to the big screen. Thank you.
Hello, I am Laurence Faulkner, the Medical Director of the Kyoto Children Foundation, an Italian organization developed by a group of parents who lost their child to cancer. The mission of Kyoto Children is to provide support for the cure of children with severe blood disorder and cancer, independently of geographic location, financial situation of the family, and religion. We have been collaborating with the Sankalp India Foundation for close to 10 years, and I'm proud to say that it has been our most successful collaboration, thanks also to the support of Dkms. The main focus of this collaboration has been the cure of thalassemia through bone marrow transplantation, the only established cure of this disease, which is the most common life-threatening disease of children across the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Only in India, there is an estimated number of 100,000 children affected with thalassemia. It's a genetic disorder by which both parents are healthy carriers of an abnormal gene, but if both genes are inherited in their child, this child becomes transfusion dependent from an early age, and eventually iron from multiple transfusion accumulates and creates organ damage, which is only partially controlled by supportive care. I am very happy about what has been achieved, how Sankalp India Foundation was able over the years to build on this project, and I'm very grateful to all of you who have contributed to this game-changing initiative. Thank you very much.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Dr. Laurence Faulkner, Medical Coordinator from Kyoto Children Foundation. Thank you for all those lovely insights.
The Kyoto Children Foundation,
and of course,
an Italian organization.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite on stage Dr. and Wing Commander, of course. Thank you so very much for your services. He is Dr. M.D. Markar. He's the Group Medical Director from Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital, to share his views about this new unit in the hospital and how it is going to make a difference for patients in and around Karnataka. To tell you a little bit about Dr., who's also Wing Commander M.D. Markar, served in the medical branch of the Indian Air Force for 28 years. And during this period, he served on various Indian Air Force stations as the Chief Medical Officer and on the management team of various armed forces hospitals. Post-retirement in the year 2000, he has been associated with various major hospitals across the country, and currently he is the Group Director at Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Dr. M.D. Markar. Please, sir.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Over the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you have been hearing a truly heart-moving experience. An experience which is not encountered by everyone. It's not encountered every day. I represent Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital here at Bangalore, which is a charitable healthcare delivery organization. And sometime during this time last year, we got associated with Mr. Lalit as well as Sankalp India Foundation, and we came to know what they were doing, and they were keen on collaborating and associating themselves with Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital at Vasantnagar at Bangalore. And after seeing what they have been doing, and after seeing what Dkms and Care to Children have been doing, we readily agreed to partner with them and offer them all our support to make sure that their dreams and the dreams of their sponsors comes true, and children from across the country are offered this modality of treatment, and generally quality of life for these children would improve. And since we are a charitable organization, we do a lot of charity in our hospital, which is the 6th floor to the ground floor in this new building. So we readily gave them the 7th floor to come and associate with us and make sure that they do what they need to do. And we assured them all support, we assured them all cooperation. And I can see now, 1 year down the line, that we have actually been very fortunate to have been associated with them, to have been associated with Dkms as well as Cure to Children, to see what has come up. And what you see today is just the beginning of what's going to happen on this campus. And I can assure you, Dr. Elke, I can assure you that we are going to take this forward, and we are going to support Sankalp to whatever extent we can to make sure that whatever faith and trust you have placed in us, you will not be disappointed. So with these few words, I'm thankful to each one of you to have given actually my hospital an opportunity to come forward and associate with you to make sure that life for these children down the line is of a far better quality than they would ever have dreamt of without this facility coming up and the support of all the donors and the organizations that you've just heard over the last 20 minutes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that you've had a good day, and I hope that you will continue to be having a good time and a good day towards the end of this day today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Marker, for that address. Ladies and gentlemen, we have listened to these stalwarts from Dkms, from Sankalp, from Cure to Children and Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital. Now comes a very special moment when I would like to introduce you to this 7-year-old Srinidhi and his parents. This little champ has been through a whole lot at such a young age. He was just about 6 months old when he was diagnosed with Thalassemia major. After painful and rigorous blood transfusions for about 4.5 years, his parents came to know about the possible transfusion and treatment option of bone marrow transplant with the help of Sankalp India and Sankalp India Foundation in the year 2019. His mother, his true savior, donated her blood stem cells, and Srinidhi got a second chance at life. Isn't that an incredible story? All this was made possible with the support of Sankalp, Dkms, and Cure to Children. A huge round of applause as we welcome Srinidhi along with his mother, Padmavati. A true fighter. After so many struggles, here he is, happy and healthy. Padmavati avare ಏನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ ಶ್ರೀನಿಧಿ ಜರ್ನಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚೂರು ಹೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ.
ಅವನಿಗೆ 1 ವರ್ಷ 2 ತಿಂಗಳಿತ್ತು. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಲಿವರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಥರ ಸಿಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಫಿಸಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನು ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿಸ್ಟು ಇರಬಹುದು ಥೆಲಸೀಮಿಯಾ ಮೇಜರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಬ್ಲಡ್. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಬಂತು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ನಾವಿಬ್ಬರು ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು ನಮ್ಗಿಬ್ರಿಗೂ ಹಾಕ್ಸೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಈ ಥರ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅವರು ಡೇ ಕೇರ್ ನಡೆಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮಗುಗೆ, ಅವರು ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಹೋಗಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ 3 years ನಾವು ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸಿದ್ದು. ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ 25 days ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಒಂದು ದಿವಸನೂ ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಗೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೂ ಲೈಫ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಲಿವರ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರು ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಫಸ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಗ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲೆ ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರು ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿದು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ನೀವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಂದು ಹಾಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರು. ಹಾಫ್ ಅಂದರೂ ಭಯ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಮಗು ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಮಾಡಿಸೋದು ಬೇಡವೋ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್, ರಜತ್ ಸರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಭಿಜಿತ್ ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಧೈರ್ಯ ತುಂಬಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆದರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಧೈರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಅವನು ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ರಿಪೀಟ್ 3-4 times ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆದ್ವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಭಯ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಈ ತರ ಆಗೋಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಮಗುಗೆ, ಆ ತರ ಭಯ ಪಡೋ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಮೊದಲೇ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ತರ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾರಲ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
ಹಾಗೆ ಒಟ್ಟು ನೀವೇ ಡೋನರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ HLA ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇ ಡೋನರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಾಯ್ತು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್? 2.5 years ಆಯ್ತು. ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾನೀಗ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚೂರು ಹೇಳಿ.
1 year ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೊರೋನಾ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆಗ್ಲೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಭಯ ಆಯ್ತು, ಹೇಗಪ್ಪ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅವನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ, ಕೊರೋನಾ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅವನು ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಇವಾಗ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಅಂಡ್ Dkms.
ಲವ್ಲಿ. ಅವನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಅವನ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಜರ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ವಿಸಿಟ್ಸ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀಯಾ ಶ್ರೀನಿಧಿ? ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯಾ?
Thank you, Sankalp.
He's so very cute and adorable. ಏನ್ ಹಾಬೀಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಅವನ್ಗೆ? ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನ? ತುಂಬಾ ತಂಟೆನಾ?
ತುಂಬಾ ತರಲೆ. ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅಣ್ಣನ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಕಿತ್ತಾಟ. ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಮಕ್ಳು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆ ತರನೇ, ಏನ್ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಒಂದ್ ತಾಯಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ ಜರ್ನಿನ ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಪದ್ಮಾವತಿ ಅವರೇ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು so very much. A huge round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, young Srinidhi is here as well. Stage mele iri, as I now request Dr. Elke to please join us, and as a small token of appreciation, we'd like to felicitate Padmavati and her son Srinidhi. Stage madhyada banbidi. Dr. Elke with Padmavati. Yes, can we please turn off the projector, please, for a moment? That would help with the picture. Yes, much better. There he is, the young fighter, Srinidhi, along with his mother, who happens to be his donor, and Dr. Elke, of course. A beautiful photo opportunity, and it's lovely to see Srinidhi's brother. Srinidhi's father is also here. Thank you so very much once again for joining us. I request the entire family to please join us. Please join Madi, sir. So we can make it a beautiful picture opportunity with the entire family. To make this moment all the more better, I'd also like to invite Mr. Lalit and Dr. Marker. Please, if you could join us on stage for a photo opportunity. Dr. Faulkner, of course, is not here, but ladies and gentlemen, if you could all just move one step towards your left, I think that would help. Yes. Thank you so very much. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the stalwarts from Dkms, Sankalp, Cure to Children, and Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital, along with Srinidhi and his family. Thank you so very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'd like to open it up for a small little question and answer. I'd like to have on stage Dr. Elke, Mr. Lalit Parmar, and Dr. M.D. Marker as we lay out a few chairs. And I'd like to give the opportunity to our friends from the media who are here to please address this gathering with any questions that you may have. If you have any questions, feel free to have your questions. I have a mic with me, and I'd be more than happy to walk around and share the mic with you in case you have any questions, please. We have Dr. Elke, we have Mr. Parmar, and we have Dr. W.D. Marker as well. Yes, please.
Just as a layman, how can I understand this bone marrow transplant unit?
I think that question, who would like to take that question? As a layman, how can I understand a little more about bone marrow transplant or blood stem cell transplant? Yes. Yes, Lalit will be answering that question, please.
So, as a layman, basically, just like you donate blood, so a normal blood donation you can donate your stem cells as well. So, it's a normal procedure where the bone marrow or the stem cells are taken from the body and they are being transfused to the patient who requires, who has a bad bone marrow or bad cells. So, it is as simple as that for a layman. Just the good bone marrow is taken from a healthy donor and given to a patient who has a bad bone marrow. It's like a normal blood transfusion. Simple.
Is there an age limit?
Typically, if, bone marrow collection happens from children above 8 to 10 years. That's it. Above 10 years. Yes.
Thank you so very much for that question. We do have another question here. You can introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hi, this is Lahari from Bangalore City News from media. So I would like to know what are the after transplant problems, like any side effects, or what are the risks that patient faces after this?
Yes, so I would like, Dr. Nima, if you can just explain.
I'm Dr. Nima Bhatt. I'm the program director for the BMT unit. Thank you, Dr. Elke, and thank you, Dr. Marker, for accommodating Sankalp India Foundation and the Dkms team in partnering and starting off the BMT unit on the 7th floor. So to take this last question, what are the side effects that you can expect post-transplant? So transplantation, as Mr. Lalit explained, is a straight enough process where we collect stem cells from a matched donor and give it to the patient. It can be done, the donor can be as young as 1 year old. So even if it's a 1 year young baby, we can collect stem cells from them and give it to the patient. And the effects of transplant, after transplant, there can be conditions that we call GVHT, depending on how matched the donor was with the patient. There can be conditions where it can cause the patient to be a little sick immediately post-transplant with fevers. They may require blood transfusions. They may be at risk for infections for about 6 months post-transplant. But comparing to whatever the patient goes through before transplant, which is repeated blood transfusions, being on multiple medications to control the iron, them being at risk for infections, the post-transplant side effects are fairly controllable if you know what to watch out for and what medications to start for these patients. So allogenic transplant is what we do for children with thalassemia and aplastic anemia. Autologous transplant is where we don't need to find a donor. It is the same stem cells are used from the patient themselves and given back to the patient. So the side effects like VOD, which are still possible in autologous, but something like GVHT, which is a major side effect post-allogenic transplant, is not to be found in autologous. But the infection part, the requiring blood transfusions, that is still a side effect of autologous transplant.
I hope that answered your question. Do we have one final question? Well, we can always arrange for an interaction with our spokesperson. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here. Thank you so very much, Doctor, for taking these questions as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have it, the new facility, this special facility that's been named after Mechtild Harf, loving wife and mother of 2 children who lost her battle against leukemia. And today is a historic day with DKMS. I once again like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here. A huge round of applause for each and every one of you. Thank you once again for being part of this special event. We, of course, will be going over to the inauguration of the facility right now, and we do have refreshments being served in the pre-function area. Feel free to network, feel free to indulge, and in case you have any questions, in case you have any concerns, like I said, we can always arrange for an interaction with our spokesperson. We have our volunteers, we have our members from the DKMS team who are around as well. Feel free to interact and let us know in case there's anything. Thank you once again. That's it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
So we will now, we will now start the formal inauguration program of the center. You are continuing, no? Yes, we are continuing.
are indeed very grateful to you for sparing your precious time to join us as we get together today. A very warm welcome. Please do shower your blessings on us.
We'd like to welcome all our friends who have joined us today in this historic occasion virtually. And we thank you very much to be part of this occasion. Thank you. Please do shower your blessings. Vande Mataram, meaning Mother, I bow to thee, was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee as part of his book, The Anand Month, in the year 1882. The poem, written as a stroke of inspiration, continues to mesmerize us even today. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please stand up and join us in singing our national song, Vande Mataram.
सुजलां सुफला मलयज शीतला सस्य श्यामला मातरं वन्दे मातरं शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्
असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Lead me from falsehood to the truth. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Let there be peace in body, mind, and spirit.
Even a single lamp dispels the deepest darkness. We are blessed to have among us this day several luminaries whose life is a shining example for us to emulate. May we invite the following luminaries who continue to lead us from darkness to light to come up for the lighting of the lamp.
Dr. Elke, Global CEO of the Dkms Group.
Paras Jain, General Secretary, Bhagwan Mahaveer Memorial Jain Trust, Bangalore.
Shri J.A. Maheshwari Ji, Director, Jai Shiv Shakti Health and Educational Foundation, Bangalore.
Shri S.V. Iyer, Trustee, Amit Iyer Memorial Foundation, Mumbai.
Shri Kailash Didwane Ji, Managing Trustee of Didwania Ratanlal Charitable Trust, Mumbai.
Lalit Parmar, President, Sankalp India Foundation. We request the luminaries to share from their light.
Thank you so much. May the light continue to shine brighter each day.
Friends, we are here today for the inauguration of BMJH Sankalp Centre for Pediatric Hematology Oncology in memory of Mechtild Harf, Dkms. We are also here to inaugurate Sankalp Labs.
Wow. So how did a bunch of engineers who used to meet under trees get to a point where they have so much trust, collaboration and synergy that a project like this has taken shape? Like this has taken shape from dreams to reality.
Well, let's ask Lalit Parmar, President Sankalp India Foundation, to share how we came together and how we came so far.
Very good afternoon, everybody, to all the distinguished guests. Thanks for taking time out for coming for this event. So the story of Sankalp began in 2003 when somebody was looking for blood and was going on the street that I need blood for my child. And by the time we could donate blood, the patient died. So that day we took a resolve that nobody should die due to shortage of blood. So we started to work as a blood donation organization in the year 2003 when we are all college students. So this is a picture from 2008 where we had done a walk on blood donation awareness. So that's how the journey of Sankalp started as a blood donation organization. Next. So in the year 2011, introduced to thalassemia. So Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health, which is a government hospital in Bangalore, at that time was looking to start a thalassemia center. And Sankalp was doing regular blood donation camps at that time with a corporate called Applied Materials. And Applied Materials was in its 10th year of celebration, and they had to donate certain amount of money for a cause. And we told, why don't we start a thalassemia center? That is how Sankalp got into thalassemia, started its first thalassemia daycare center in Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health. That was the first thalassemia center, and we had done a walk for thalassemia. This is a picture from Walk for Thalassemia from October 2011, and the center was inaugurated on the Children's Day in 2011. So today this center has about 350 children currently taking regular thalassemia management as I speak. Next. So during our journey as we were in 2011 and 12, through a common friend, we met Dr. Laurence Faulkner at Bangalore airport. That changed everything. Since then on, he has been working with us as a medical director of Sankalp for thalassemia management and thalassemia cure, and I will explain our journey as we move along. So, as we are working with Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health, within a year we realized that we had the full capacity at Indira Gandhi Institute. And Indira Gandhi Institute, being a child hospital, could not take children above 16 years. So we started the second thalassemia center in collaboration with Rashtrotana Blood Bank in Chamrajpet here in Bangalore. And it was started on August Independence Day in 2012. That center today caters to about 400 thalassemia children. And that together with Indira Gandhi and this thing in 2012, we were managing close to 500 children in the year 2012. Now the thought at this stage came to our mind, so what do we do? I mean, we have so many children. How do we cure these children? How do we take things forward? That is when our journey of thalassemia management and cure expanded. So here I would like to share an experience. So in the year 2012, when we are running Indira Gandhi IGI, so there were a lot of things these children needed. 75% of the things the hospital like Indira Gandhi government could provide, but there's still 25% of the things that the hospital could not provide. So we came in and at that time realized that these children, like for example, we have a lot of patients who could not come to the treatment center because every 20 days they had to pay for the bus charges to come to the center. Lot of lab investigations that were not happening in the government hospital, these parents could not afford. So when we did a total analysis of these, we realized that we needed a lot of funds. And Sankalp until 2011 never collected funds from anybody outside because we were all engineers, we were all getting paid, so we ran the NGO with our own pocket money. But when we were introduced to thalassemia, now with managing 300, 400 children, it was not possible to sustain from our pocket money. So at that time, our first meeting, we met with Dada Chillaram from Jai Shiv Shakti Health and Educational Foundation. And I'll just share an experience. We needed money, we had put in a budget, we needed money for about 100 children for these lab investigations, medicines and everything. So we thought asking for the entire 100 will be too much. So I went to Dada and Maheshwari ji at that time was there. I told, sir, please support for 30 children. He told, yes, okay. What will do for remaining 70? No, sir, we'll go to other donors, we'll ask. Maheshwari ji was like, तो आपको 100 का चाहिए, आप 30 का मांग रहे हो, ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो? मैं सोचा सर 100 आप ज़्यादा हो जाएगा आपके लिए कहीं. हमने सोचा 2-3 डोनर से बात करके पूरा फंड. Within 5 minutes he told us, don't worry about the treatment you do for entire 100, we are there to support. That is the first step with our thalassemia management journey began in 2012 with Jai Shiv Shakti support. And then second, Deutsche Bank, that you are seeing is an image from the entire global Deutsche Bank team had come. And they also visited Indira Gandhi and our Rashtrotana Center and then told we are also ready to expand this. So today, after that, these two people's collaboration, today from 2, we are running up to 16 thalassemia center managing about 2,000 thalassemia children in these centers. So again, another experience. Now we had so many children. Cure is very important. Thalassemia cure is only cure option is bone marrow transplantation, and it was inaccessible to the poor. The treatment cost during that time when we were searching was 15 to 25 lakhs at that time. And for us, we had done HLA. We already had 50 to 60 children awaiting transplantation in 2014. And when we met Dr. Laurence Faulkner, he was a pediatric hemato-oncologist. He had started a center in Jaipur at that time. And they were doing reasonably good job at doing a bone marrow transplant at 8.5 lakhs at that. We sent 3 of our children to Jaipur. All the 3 children got cured. Then we told Dr. Faulkner, we have 500 children in 2 centers. We can't send all the children to Jaipur, it is too much. We need to start a center here. And at that time, BMT Hospital was there in Yeshwanthpur. We approached them, can you give us a space to run the center? They agreed, Dr. Chandrasekhar, Dr. Chetan agreed to give us the space. Now comes the how do we fund the center. So here I would like to share one experience. Through a common friend, we came across Mr. S.V. Iyer, who is here among us. He was in Bombay. So he came to know that we needed funds to set up the bone marrow transplant unit. He told, I am going to fly from Bombay to see what work you're doing. One day morning he came, we showed what work we are doing. By evening 7 o'clock he says, I will fund you the entire center. So and say, that has been just in a matter of 8 years. I mean, our entire budget was 10 lakhs at that time. This center was 50 lakhs. For us to ask itself was a big thing. So I had asked Maheshwari ji that 5 lakhs, can we get 6 or 8 donors? Even he also then assisted with his friends, 5 lakhs, 4 donors. And when I told Iyer, sir, we already have 4 donors. He told, no. First 10 transplants, you will require money. You don't know that. So I will give entire money, use it for the transplant. So not only did he sponsor for the center, but also supported for the first 10 transplants, which are very, very critical. So that is how our cure journey started. This was the transplant center inauguration in 2015. You see all the respected dignitaries there on the. So at BMT Centre, we have completed 2. We completed before the pandemic, 200 bone marrow transplant centers was completed at this center. Next. So now, as I mentioned, we started transplantation. Every transplant costed 9 lakhs. Now, how do we fundraise this money? We didn't have Dkms at that time. I will share the Dkms journey at this. So in 2015, what do? So we approached Tata, Cipla, you see Didwania Trust Family and Jai Shiv Shakti. All of these people committed to contribute for every transplant. So because of that, we could complete these 200 bone marrow transplant at the BMT Centre. We thank all of them for their continued support. Along with them, many other donors also came in forward. Next. So as we are doing transplantation in Bangalore, one of the doctors in Ahmedabad was from a Lohana family where thalassemia is too much in Gujarat. He was a friend of Dr. Chetan, who is a pediatrician in Peopletree. He told that there is a center like this here. So then this doctor approached us, that why don't you start a center in Ahmedabad? We approached there, and similar model to Bangalore with the support of Jai Shiv Shakti, Cipla, Tata, all of them. We started a center in SIMS Hospital, Ahmedabad. It's a 4-bedded facility. Today that center has completed over 150 transplantation. So this is a picture from the inauguration of the center in Ahmedabad. Now, so both the center combined, this is a picture. We did a program in Bombay with 200 transplants when we completed a celebration with all the families coming, because it was center from Ahmedabad, Bangalore. We did the program in Bombay. This is a image from that center where all the parents, all the donors were there. It's a 200 transplantation being celebrated. Next. So at this juncture, when we are looking to expand our program at all of these 2 locations came in, one lady walked into our center one day in Bangalore. She visited the entire center. She was from Dkms. When she went back, she reported to the management of Dkms. We hear after 3 months, the entire Dkms board wants to visit us. They visited us, and then the Sankalp and Dkms collaboration started. So Dkms, through the help of Dkms, we have done HLA typing free of cost to 4,000 families in India. And not only that, post that meeting, in the end of the meeting, we didn't, again, when we asked, as Sankalp, we are very bad. We don't know how much to ask, what to ask. They themselves do, we are going to support each and every transplant, every child, whatever is the gap or funding to make the transplant accessible. So they have till date supported now, post that 200 transplants and cure for 200 children. So this is a meeting, first meeting with the Dkms group when we had at the Peopletree Center. Next. Now, along the journey now, since we are having thalassemia, 16 thalassemia centers which Sankalp is managing, 2,000 children. Now, lot of new all the other thalassemia centers have also joined Sankalp. So this you see is an image from Rural Development Trust, Anandpur, which is run by Father Ann Ferrer as a charitable setup. Their entire thalassemia center and all the transplantation for thalassemia, they are sending referral centers to Sankalp, Bangalore, BMJH now. Earlier it was Peopletree. Now, down you see Thalassemia and Sickle Cell Society, Mr. Chandrakant Agarwal is here. They have signed an MOU. They have about close to 1,500 thalassemia children in Hyderabad. So the transplantation of all of these children, they have been sending the patients to Bangalore. So the right, you see we have set up a center in Ahmedabad with Jalaram Trust. Again, these centers, these local partners, not only are, they are also contributing on the transplantation basis. So the journey continues. So 2,000 direct beneficiaries plus 2,000-3,000 additional thalassemia patients from these centers. So the cure, number of patients we have to cure, the list is increasing and increasing and increasing. Next. So as we are having more number of patients, we also get more complicated transplants like haploidentical transplant, match unrelated transplant, or a transplant for an aplastic anemia. It is very important that your program is quality conscious. So we have global experts also who are advising us on this. This you see is a picture of Dr. Charles Clark. He is a world authority in endocrine complications from Memorial Sloan Kettering in the US. He visited us and he is consulting us even today on the endocrine complications of all our patients. Like this, we have even for all our MRIs, we have world authority on MRI who reads all the complicated cases, so that we are able to give the best treatment to the child. Whether he is rich or poor, belongs to any religion, caste, does not matter. We want to deliver the best, we want to give the best. This again explains, when I say we want to deliver the best, Sankalp with Cure to Children, in the last 5-7 years, we have published over 10 international standard papers. And this is Dr. Laurence Faulkner representing us at American Society of Hematology in the US. So we not only believe in, let's say we do charitable work, but we should also publish what we are doing. And all our papers are open access, so that since we are doing charity work, everybody can read through and also gain advantage from it. For example, one paper, if you see on the top, is on the HLA typing. Traditionally in India, everybody were doing low resolution HLA typing. when we are having everything electronic in Sankalp, we realized that there is a 6% error in low resolution HLA typing only in India because of consanguinity. It is not happening in Europe or in US. So after this paper, most transplant centers in India now are doing high resolution typing. So this is an indicator that if you have everything electronic, everything managed properly, you are not only able to improve the outcomes of yourself, but also as a country and overall we are able to improve the patient outcomes by publishing international standard quality papers. Next. Now, again, how to take the quality to the next level. So the highest accreditation for any bone marrow transplant facility is JCE or FACT, which is American or we at that time in People Tree Center, we had applied for a JCE inspection. We were the first center in India to have a physical inspection completed. This is an image from the physical JCE inspectors who came to evaluate. If not for COVID, the center would have been the first center for completing JCE, because this happened in February and March we had severe COVID, and so the accreditation process is still not complete, but in post that a lot of things changed. But what I want to say here is we want to have our centers international accreditation. Low cost does not mean low quality. You can give the best quality yet at a very affordable cost. So that is what it proves, that we want to have international accreditation for all our centers. Next. Now, as I mentioned, so we have done all 18 plus other thalassemia centers are joining us. We have a huge waiting list of patients. What to do? So we had a 4-bedded facility in People Tree Hospital. We do 50 transplants in a year. How do we increase? So COVID was a very, very difficult time for us because we had to stop transplantation in People Tree. At that time, Dr. Mahesh from Jain Hospital and Maheshwari ji and FR Singhvi sir here, we started discussion to set up a facility here in Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital, and through all of their supports and wishes, we are here today for the BMJH Centre inauguration of the bone marrow transplant facility. Next, can you start? So even during the COVID pandemic, we did some transplant in our Ahmedabad Centre. These are the latest 5 children who have been cured at the Ahmedabad Centre. So we are here now today for the inauguration of Sankalp BMJH Centre for Pediatric Hematology, Oncology and BMT. This entire center was funded, supported by Dkms for the transplant program and Sankalp Labs. I would like to thank Dr. Amit Iyer Memorial Foundation, S.V. Iyer sir, Kailash Didwania sir, and the entire Dkms group for making it possible to have such a wonderful facility. And we promise that we continue to strive hard to provide the best care and quality care to all of the children, irrespective of their financial background. And let us now take a virtual tour of the center. We thank you very much. Thank you Dkms, thank you BMJH, thank you Kyoto Children, everybody for making this possible. Thank you very much. Babulaji Ranka sir just went, he told I will sponsor at least 10 transplant, I will give a contribution. He just made an announcement and he just went from Ranka Charitable Trust. Thank you.
Indeed, what a wonderful journey that was, isn't it? Thank you, sir, for taking us through a virtual tour and sharing an extraordinary journey with us.
Welcome, Dkms, the world's leading Welcome, Dkms, the world's leading organization in the fight against blood cancer and blood disorders. Today, represented through the organization's global CEO, Dr. Elke Neujahr, and its global chief medical officer, Dr. Alexander Schmidt.
To this day, Dkms has registered 11 million unrelated blood stem donors worldwide and has provided 95,000 second chances of life.
Today, they are here because the organization has also made its mission to improve the access to transplantation for patients in need.
Because of Dkms support, we can present the state-of-the-art facility today.
Dkms has not only financed this center, but it is also supporting the 120 children that we are treating here every year, as the organization also contributes to the costs of their transplantation.
In Dkms, we have found a perfect collaboration where we share each other's commitment and zeal to give each life a better chance.
We would like to invite Dr. Elke Neujahr to kindly address the gathering.
Dear partners and friends, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, and dearest children. I'm very delighted to be here today to represent Dkms and to see what our valued partners from Sankalp and Kyoto Children have accomplished here over the past 10 months, and that's incredible. Thank you for inviting us, me, and my colleagues to celebrate this special day together with you. As an international non-profit organization dedicated to the fight against blood cancer and blood disorders, we know it is only possible to help patients worldwide by working together with local partners. We are thus very grateful to be able to support Sankalp, whose work here truly makes a difference in the lives of so many young patients and their families. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we are here today, the inauguration of the Bone Marrow Transplant unit in memory of our dearest Mechtild Harf, is deeply embedded in our history. Our story began with a family fighting to save someone they loved. And I think it's similar to the stories that the families here in India also have to suffer from. It is only a few days ago, it was the 16th September, that the Harf family commemorated the 30th anniversary of Mechtild Harf's death. Her fate turned a small private initiative in 1991 into the largest international network of blood stem cell donor centers in the world today. To this day, Mechtild's legacy lives on in our mission and in our hearts, in the work that we do, and in her daughter's aspiration that no more families should suffer and be torn apart because of blood cancer or any other blood disorder. It is really a great honor for our founder, Dr. Peter Harf, for his daughter Katharina Harf, and a milestone for me, for my organization, my Dkms family, that the first BMT unit in memory of Mechtild Harf opens its doors today for children in need of a blood stem cell transplant. Thank you for your dedication to make this happen. It's admirable. As Mechtild's daughter and our chairwoman of our Dkms Foundation board, Katharina unfortunately cannot be here today. She has recorded a video message for us, and I would love to share this with you now. Thank you.
Years ago, my mother was diagnosed with leukemia. Her only hope was a stem cell transplant. With no matching donor in our family, my father literally moved mountains to find a matching donor for her. Despite our best efforts, she ultimately lost her battle. Before she passed away, though, she made my father promise her that he would continue fighting for other patients, so no family would have to go through what we experienced. Driven by this promise, my father founded Dkms in 1991, and since then we have registered over 11 million donors and have given more than 95,000 patients a second chance at life. Our commitment to the mission has remained strong, ensuring that we can provide as many patients as possible access to transplantation. It means the world to me to be able to honor my mother's legacy with a partnership between Dkms, Cure to Children, and Sankalp Foundation with the new Bone Marrow Transplant Center at the BMJH Hospital. I'm a mother of two myself, and I have just given birth to a beautiful baby boy. It fills my heart with joy to know that 120 children in need of a stem cell transplant will be treated in this unit every year. It is my big dream that patients all over the world have the chance to be cured, and that other families do not have to feel the devastating pain of losing a loved one. I wish I could have joined you today in person to say hello to the patients and their families and thank you for your incredible work. I hope to come to Bangalore very soon to meet you and express my deep gratitude for all you do. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's the reason why she cannot be here. It's just some weeks ago that Katharina has given birth to a wonderful little boy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give the floor now to my dear colleague, Dr. Alexander Schmidt. He was the one who has been here several years ago and who met Sankalp and Laurence Faulkner. And he said it's a matter of heart that we go here and that we help. I'm very proud that you are here, Alexander. The stage is yours, my dearest colleague.
Thank you, Elke. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and valued partners, dear Rajat, Rakesh and Lalit, dear Dr. Nima, dear Dr. Marker, I am very pleased and honored to be here today, and I enjoyed our visit to the BMT unit this morning very much. Since our decision to support the establishment of this unit, we at Dkms have, of course, followed the progress being made with great interest. We have seen numbers, reports, photos and videos, and so I'm not surprised today that the unit has turned out to be very beautiful. But it's quite different to look at things on a computer screen a few thousand kilometers away or to really get an on-site picture. Now I can honestly say that I'm even more impressed by what you have achieved, and all this during a pandemic with all the complication it entails. At Dkms, we are very happy and proud to be a part of this project. As Katharina Harf said in her video message, it has been our goal since the founding of Dkms to provide patients in need with access to stem cell transplantation. This is the purpose of our 7 national donor centers, also in India, here in Bangalore. For some years now, we have been interpreting this goal more broadly. For us, ensuring access to transplantation now also increasingly means overcoming socio-economic barriers to transplantation. Our efforts in this field are based mainly on 3 pillars. Perform free HLA typing to support the search for suited related stem cell donors. Contribute directly to patient treatment costs. And support efforts to increase transplant capacities and to train healthcare professionals. For all of these efforts, we need partners, and currently, the vast majority of all projects in our Access to Transplantation program are done in partnership with Sankalp India and Cure to Children, because we are deeply impressed by the work that these 2 organizations are doing. That is why we are very excited to take the partnership to an even higher level with this new beautiful BMT unit. In the near future, there will be about 120 transplants per year in this unit, the majority of them for thalassemia patients. This is not only wonderful for the additional patients who will be cured, but this number also makes the program one of the largest, or maybe even the largest and most relevant programs worldwide in this field. That is another reason to be proud. At the same time, it also results in new responsibilities, namely to actively contribute to further raising the treatment standards for thalassemia patients through scientific activities such as prospective clinical trials. We are ready to support you in this challenge with the competence and experience of our clinical trials unit. We cannot thank you enough for your efforts and wish you all the best for the operation of the BMT unit. We count on you that with this unit, you will succeed in curing many more patients than you have already. And you can count on us that we will continue to support you in this task with full commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Elke. Thank you, Dr. Alexander Schmidt. Thank you, Dkms, in partnering with us in giving life a better chance. Thank you for making our dream of building this BMT unit a reality. Thank you for giving our children a fighting chance against genetic blood abnormalities. Thank you. Shri Paras Jain is a young, dynamic, and enterprising visionary. He is the founder and the managing director of Adishwar India Limited. He is currently the secretary of Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital Trust.
We would like to invite Shri Paras Jain to kindly address the gathering.
Respected Dkms team, Sankalp Foundation team, all Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital trustees, present trustees, doctors, ladies and gentlemen. Very good afternoon to each and everyone. It's a very proud moment to our hospital, Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital. This hospital foundation was 35 years back. Our objective of the hospital to serve the society, support the needy people, and help the poor patient, those who can't afford that kind of treatment. Our community base, the Jain community, all the trustees joined together, started working here, bought lot of donations, and in 2016, we opened our world-class international standard, this new building where we are sitting today. We can say this hospital never had any motto of making profit. Each and every pie, it is from the donation, and all our trustees wholeheartedly donated, and so many other donors also came forward. The hospital had a dream to bring the exclusivity of department, which should be a landmark for the Bangalore. Few years back, we bought the Smile Train, one of the flagship department in Bangalore. We have at 6th floor of the same building. 100% free treatment for Cliff with surgery and all. Very international standard of all the facility. No doubt that has been taken care by Smile Train Foundation. They are managing the show with their donations and fund. But we have provided the space, and we feel proud ourselves that we are lucky enough to give these kind of services to the society. We have one more flagship department. The vascular department, that is not a kind of 100% free, but we can see that more than about 20-25% patient are coming from very poor background, and maximum from our doctor team and trust management, we are supporting them and helping them for their treatment. Same way, we got opportunity to set up the Sankalp Foundation here. When our trustees and our managing committee had a meeting with them, everyone was dreaming, oh, this will be one more kind of flagship department for our hospital. And really, it will help and save lakhs together for the patient family. And they will feel proud by seeing the infrastructure and setup of the hospital. So our management decided, and the present, your Sankalp India President Lalit Bansali, he is also part of our community. He explained us everything, completely the project, about project and all, and management decided and gave them all the approval and completely free hand. This entire 7th floor is Sankalp India. Whatever they required, whatever their plannings, whatever their facility required, everything, whatever they ask, everything has been given. And today really we are very proud on Inauguration Day. We can make out, we can understand really this department, how much it is going to help the society. We are very grateful and thankful for the valuable time of your Dkms team, our Sankalp Foundation team, all your donors, doctor team. Really, on behalf of all our Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain trusts and trustees, I am thankful to each and everyone for making us proud and bring this Bhagwan Mahaveer Jain Hospital name at international level. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your support is greatly appreciated. The setting up of unit would not have been possible if it was not you.
The year 1995 ushered in a new dawn for the medical management of thalassemia. For the first time, thalassemics in India had access to a cheap oral chelator medicine, Kelfa. Till then, expensive and cumbersome administration of Delpha injectable chelator was beyond the reach of most of the affected children.
This became a reality owing to the untiring efforts of Mr. S.V. Iyer, who held senior leadership positions in Cipla, a reputed pharmaceutical company where research was conducted for developing the oral medicine. With Amit Iyer Memorial Foundation, in memory of his late son, Mr. Iyer, has been closely associated with Sankalp India Foundation since 2015, when the first low-cost BMT facility was set up.
He is not only a member of the advisory board of Sankalp India Foundation, but also a generous donor to several projects launched by the foundation. He has supported the setting up of Sankalp Pathology Labs, being inaugurated today.
We would like to request Shri Iyer sir to kindly grace the stage and share the journey.
Respected Dkms team, Sankalp team, all my friends, collaborators, associates, and everybody else present here. This morning I was simply blown out when I saw the new unit being created here, having been created here by Sankalp India. I did not imagine that it would be such a beautiful place. The dedication, the hard work, and the enthusiasm these young engineers in Sankalp India put in here is really something that is admirable and commendable. And with such good work, when they come to us, we find it difficult to say no. I am very, very delighted that we are all part of this beautiful venture, beautiful effort, which is going to help a lot of young children, right? I think a lot of detailed work has gone in the laboratories, in the molecular laboratory, pathology laboratory, etc. The kind of technology that has been introduced and being used really makes this whole setup world-class. And the technology usage in terms of data mining, data collection, and which is likely to assist in research work is something that I fully appreciate. And this is something that you may not find everywhere so easily, especially in a setup which is run by a NGO like Sankalp. You may find it in big universities and hospitals and private establishments where private money is flowing, but not in NGOs. From that point of view, I think the Sankalp team is doing a great job, and I think we must applaud them, and a big applause for them. In all what they have done so far, the real backbone, the real mentor, the real guide is Dr. Laurence Faulkner, and we are missing him today. It's so unfortunate that he could not make it to be here today, and his work is commendable, and one can see his effort having been implemented by these youngsters, and I think we owe a big thank you to Dr. Laurence. I'm sure he must be watching this virtually, and hello, Dr. Laurence, thank you very, very much. And let me conclude by saying that today we are here to celebrate and inaugurate this unit. I wish this unit grows from this point to many more successes, many more advancements are introduced here and done here. I'm sure that with all of us supporting Sankalp will be able to achieve that. During my conversation with Dr. Deepa Trivedi today, she was telling me that in the Ahmedabad unit, if not this entire unit, at least a part of this should be replicated. I told her, you find the place, leave the rest of it to me. So Deepa, that's a promise. Now you take it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ayya sir, in continuing to support us. Thank you very much.
Shri Kailash Didwania is the founder and managing trustee of Didwania Ratanlal Charitable Trust, which was formed in 1988. In the initial stages, his father, Shri Ratanlalji, and later Mr. Kailashji used to visit and approve genuine trust projects.
They have set up a polio hospital in Udaipur, home for the destitute in Ujjain, accommodation for cancer patients in Vashi and Guwahati, school building in Calicut, Chennai, Kolhapur, and Kolkata, and girls' hostel in Nasik. Besides this, they have part-funded 300 transplants in the last 7 years in Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, and Nasik.
May we request Shri Kailash Didwania to grace the stage.
Kailash sir is little shy to speak, so he told me to speak.
I have requested Mr. Lalit Parmar to please share some moments what we have last 5 years seen together. So he will speak on behalf of Didwania Ratanlal Charitable Trust.
So, Didwania Ratanlal Charitable Trust is a dream of Prakash sir and Kailash sir's father, whom everybody, all of us address as Bapuji. So his dream was always to serve the society back, and I can only say that working with them, that he will be very proud now somewhere, wherever, that their children are continuing what he wanted to continue. So when Bapuji was there, he wanted to support 100 bone marrow transplants at that time. So when we conducted our 200 transplants program in Bombay, Didwania Trust told, now we will support 500 children for bone marrow transplantation. So I cannot put any words. They are down to earth people, and anything that you request them, they take with this thing, dignity, understand, and try to help wherever possible, all patients, wherever they are. So as you see, their projects, right from north to south, wherever they are having projects. They are ready to support the society, and just both of them, when we speak to them, they always talk about Bapuji. See, hamara Bapuji ki ichha thi. So that really says that what the family is and what their interests are to serve the society. And we at Sankalp are very proud to be associated with people and partners like this. It just gives us a different energy, different things for the whole society to have people around like this. It gives a different motivation. So thank you, Didwania sir, for all the contribution and support. And on behalf of the trust, I would like to thank everybody for giving the opportunity. Thank you.
There is this famous song, I'm sure you all would have heard. किसी के मुस्कुराहटों पे हो मिसाल, किसी के दर्द ले सको तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है, सर आप जी रहे हो और हम सबको जीवन दे रहे हो. Thank you so much, sir, for standing by us.
Sitting in his home office in Florence, Dr. Laurence Faulkner spends a good part of his day working on his computer and connecting with medical teams across the globe. Some people call him the Skype healer. He is the medical director of Cure to Children Foundation, Italy, and Sankalp. He has made an immense contribution to the cause of enabling transplantation in the developing world.
So, You are a doctor by training, but an engineer in your approach. He has been the guide to all of us for the last many years. It would never have been possible for us to pursue the journey towards cure, nor would this program have been where it is, if it was not for his continued commitment, dedication, and work.
Due to some travel issues, Dr. Laurence unfortunately could not attend the program physically today. However, he has shared a video for the program.
I am Laurence Faulkner. I'm the medical coordinator of the Cure to Children Foundation, an Italian NGO developed by a group of parents who lost their child to cancer. The mission of Cure to Children is to provide support for the cure directly in middle-income countries of children with severe blood disorders and cancer. We have been collaborating with Sankalp India Foundation now for almost 10 years, and I'm glad to say that it has been one of our most successful collaborations, thanks also to the contribution of Dkms and many others. The focus of this collaboration has been primarily thalassemia, the most common life-threatening disease of children across Middle East and Southeast Asia. Only in India there is an estimated number of cases in the range of 100,000. And it is a genetic disorder by which, if both parents are healthy carriers, the child has a chance to inherit both abnormal genes and develop a disease, thalassemia major, which makes him dependent from transfusion because he cannot produce his own blood. And so these transfusions eventually, which are needed from an early age, eventually will result in severe iron overload, organ damage, which is only partially manageable by supportive care. I'm very proud of being part of this great project, and I thank all of you who have contributed. Thank you very much.
The BMT inauguration event today has a big missing link, and that is your physical presence, Dr. Laurence Faulkner. We miss you, Dr. Laurence. Dr. Nima completed her post-graduation from Cooper University Hospital, Camden, New Jersey, USA, following which she pursued her super specialty fellowship in hematology, oncology, and bone marrow transplantation from the Penn State Health, Pennsylvania, USA.
The unit is set up, the staff is ready, and the patients have lined up. With all of this done, the reins have now been in the hands of commander of the place, the person in charge. Our program director, Dr. Nima Bhatt, has accepted the responsibility to lead the new program.
May we invite Dr. Nima Bhatt to share what is planned for the program.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to first of all, start thanking DKMS, Dr. Elke, and Dr. Alexander for giving us this golden opportunity to be able to open bone marrow transplant unit in the heart of Bangalore city. Whatever I say following the stalwarts that have already spoken on this important stage is going to be probably minuscule, but as a program director, I think I will take this opportunity to mostly talk about how we are going to look at expand the program, and as well as what goals and what visions we have shared along with the Sankalp team for the program. So mainly, as you know, Sankalp India Foundation, in collaboration with DKMS and Cure to Children, have been, I think, they played a pivotal part in making sure that we give cure to thalassemia patients. A few years before, thalassemia patients did not have an answer. All they were told when they were diagnosed at the age of, very young age of 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, is go ahead, start transfusions, take regular transfusions once every month, start medications to control your iron overload, and that was it. So there was no hope in the way of cure to thalassemia that was given. Thanks to Sankalp India Foundation and Cure to Children and the golden collaboration they have made, I think we have been able to, so far, successfully transplant 300 children with thalassemia in both the centers, Bangalore as well as SIMS Ahmedabad. So I walk into this golden collaboration at this moment, and I would like to take the opportunity to say we should only make it better going on forward, going ahead. So thalassemia matched sibling transplant, or HLA typed 100% matched transplant, is the standard of care. But as science is advancing, we are looking at haploidentical transplants. We are looking at matched unrelated donor transplants, mostly haploidentical transplants in the Indian setup, where as people have spoken before this, it's very important to bring world-class technology to the patients at a very affordable cost. So it is important not only to make sure that we collaborate with other transplant centers, medical experts from other transplant centers, but also bring it down to our patients at a cost that can be easily afforded by them, but at the same time not compromise on the quality of care that we are offering to them. Are we going to limit ourselves to thalassemia? So I would definitely say thalassemia is where we have started off. So if you're looking at the expansion of the unit, we are also going to focus on another disorder mainly found in the pediatric age groups, which is aplastic anemia. So transplant is also is the cure modality for patients with aplastic anemia. So we will also be expanding and planning to transplant patients with aplastic anemia, another genetic disorder called Fanconi's anemia. So these are the small goals we have, but definitely attainable goals we have to transplant these children as well. The other important goal, I think, for the unit, in collaboration with Dkms and Cure to Children, Dr. Laurence, would be to make significant contribution to the academic world. So if you look at the studies in thalassemia, worldwide, they're very limited. There are not too many studies, apart from chelation and blood transfusions, there's not too many studies about transplant and how to make transplant a better possibility in patients with thalassemia. So that is one of the other goals that I think we should try to set up prospective randomized clinical trials and study these patients in detail. And platform that's provided by BMT Plus by Jagrati, which is also a part of Sankalp India Foundation, is where I think we will find the resources to document all these transplants, which is a vital part of any transplant center, is to document transplants meticulously. And so we have data to go back and study them and make significant changes wherever it is required. And the last thing I would like to say is thank you again to Sankalp India Foundation, to DKMS, to Cure to Children, to all the other stalwarts over here who have made the contribution and made this day a possibility. With all your help, we have so far successfully transplanted 15 children, almost 15 children. There's another child who's lined up to undergo transplant very soon. And we look forward to continue the great work with all your support, and whatever I say will be less today. So thank you very much.
We're blessed with beautiful examples of women empowerment today in this hall. Our beloved Elke, our Deepa ma'am, and Nima Bhatt, and many more. Ma'am, you are our lioness for the team and will always be so. We cannot thank you enough for your excellent care and support and guidance that you have given us. Thank you, ma'am.
Several years back, we met Dr. Sundar Periyavan when he was heading the blood bank at the prestigious National Institute of Medical Health and Advanced Sciences. Over the next few years, we fought many small battles in the interest of voluntary blood donation together.
Subsequently, Sir agreed to join our advisory board. We could not be happier when Sir agreed to take the responsibility of heading our labs post his retirement. We would like to invite Dr. Sundar Periyavan to share what we intend to do at our labs.
respected Dkms team, the Jain team, Sankalp India team, ladies, gentlemen, and children, a very good afternoon. So I've been associated with the Sankalp India Foundation before the inception. I know Dr. Rajat, Mr. Lalit, Rakesh, Amit, so many people. I know them. I've been working with them. I'm very fortunate to work again after post-retirement with the Sankalp India Foundation. And they have thought of a program a medical person could not do. Though I was heading the Department of Transfusion, I never thought of such a program. Even the government, central government, state government, could not think of such a comprehensive thalassemia care program for India. What they have done as engineers, I really admire them. So after retirement, I agreed to work with them. So with this small introduction, let me tell what we are going to do in the laboratory. Sankalp Lab wants to become a leader in providing laboratory support for the blood disorders, both preventive, curative, and supportive, thereby contributing to the organizational vision of Thalassemia-free India. We are located in the 7th floor of Mahabhir Jain Hospital, and we have the unique advantage of working with the clinical team to provide rapid, reliable, and effective services. We have the two sections. One is clinical pathology laboratory, another is molecular lab, which is headed by Mr. Divij Kinga, who is here with us. Within clinical laboratory pathology, we do a lot of work. It's a small single room laboratory, but we do a lot of work here. And we do biochemistry, hematology, immunoassays, infectious markers, hormone levels, urine analysis, coagulation profiles, HPLC study, that is high performance liquid chromatography, cyclosporin levels, and ferritin levels. There are so many tests we are doing. And we are also getting samples from the nodal centers, so 5 centers. They are sending samples where all pregnant mothers are being offered a screening for hemoglobinopathies. So this is a preventive procedure wherein a pregnant mother, if she is thalassemia trait, we want to identify and call the husband also. And the husband is also is thalassemia trait, then we have a problem. We may have a child born with thalassemia. We do not want any child to be born with thalassemia because we know how much trouble the child is taking, and they have to undergo transplantation, which is not possible for many people, and many people are not affordable in India. They are not even afford blood transfusion, coming from their house to the hospital, getting blood transfusion, paying for the transfusion, getting chelation therapy. It's a very cumbersome, and many of them are not affordable. And we are committed to ensuring highest standards of quality and reliability. We have been participating in external quality assessment program. In this direction, we have already undergone internal auditing for NABL, and soon we are going to apply for NABL accreditation. And Mr. Divij is doing automated extraction of the samples, real PCR, real-time PCR, and sequencing programs. And we intend to detect viruses, give molecular diagnosis for thalassemia and other diseases, and perform study of post-engraftment program. We are committed that the lab not only provide lab services, but further the available knowledge will be pooled around the laboratory support for blood disorders. Within the last few months, we have already identified at least one significant finding which we will be publishing soon. We are working with the National Institute of Immunohematology in Bombay to improve the detection of antibodies in transfused patients. We are also cryopreserving critical patient samples for further studies and for research program. We have the capability provided by our generous donors, the opportunity provided by our patients and collaborating organizations. And we intend to deliver value to the organization by enhancing the capability and at the same time minimizing the cost. And finally, we are confident to play a meaningful role in our mission to give life a better chance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar, for your simplicity. Thank you, Dr. Sundar, for being our guide through all these years. Thank you for agreeing to join us in shaping up this world-class labs facility. We hope to achieve many milestones together. We have with us some of the families who have had bone marrow transplantations for their child here in our BMT unit. We are very excited to have them share their experience with us.
A 16-year-old boy with a dream to become a police officer and also excel in his favorite sports, football, was struck with a shock called severe aplastic anemia. He hails from a small village called Vaddarahundi in Karnataka. With the high cost of the transplant and little knowledge on the condition, no stone was left unturned before they could reach us for BMT. Here he is today with us after a long fight, standing strong and have successfully completed BMT with us. He was recently discharged from our BMTU on 29th July 2021. Let us all welcome Madhu's mother to inspire us with her courageous story. Rajeshwari Ma, Bani.
ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ತುಂಬ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಆದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮದುವಿಗೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸೋಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ವರ ಬಂದು ತಲಾ ಸುತ್ತು ವಾಮಿಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಥರ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿದ್ರು. ಅವರು ಈ ಥರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ತೋರೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೂ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪೂಜಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನೀವು ಆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ತುಂಬ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಚನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಅವೀಶ್ ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಿಗಿದ್ರು ಹೆದರ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇರಿ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನರ್ಸು, ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರುಗಳು ಇಮಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ರವಿ ಸರ್, ಅರ್ಚನಾ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಂದ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರು. ತಾಯಿ ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಜಾರಾಗಿದೆ ನನಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಅವಿ ಸರ್, ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಇಷ್ಟೇ. ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ಬೇಡ್ಕೊತ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಬಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋಂಥ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲು ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ಬೇಡ್ಕೊ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಸ್ಟೇಜಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನಿಸಿತ್ತು. ಇಮಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತಾಯಿ ಥರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೆ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ಬೇಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ನಾನು.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ಇರೋ ತನಕನೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಸಾಯೋ ತನಕನೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣಂದ್ರು ಯಾರು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಸಂಬಂಧಿಕರು ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಮಗೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮನೇ ಕಷ್ಟ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಹೋಯ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ. ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೆಳೆದು ದೊಡ್ಡನಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ಗೆ. ಇದು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಇವತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೇಜಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಂತೂ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಮಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಅವಿ ಸರ್, ಅರ್ಚನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ನರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ನನ್ನಂಥ ಬಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ನಾನು ಇರೋವರೆಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ಇಮಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲ್ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ಬೇಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ನನ್ನಂಥ ಬಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಅಮ್ಮ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಯಣ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅಳ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. I'm sure her emotions have reached you. Emotion has no barriers. Just to summarize, she was here to thank each and every person who was present in their hardship. They belonged to a very poor family when the shock was struck to their family. And they all had decided to give up their lives because there was none to help them. They're from very small village. Just to diagnose that this was a severe aplastic anemia, it took months. And then to reach Sankalp India Foundation, it then again took months. So they were very thankful to each person in Sankalp India Foundation who stood by them. And the mother's emotion was that Madhu is not her kid. She explained that Madhu was the Sankalp India Foundation's kid. And yes, thank you so much to everyone who has supported, who have stood by this family.
An angel was born in the village Bakarapuram, Andhra Pradesh. Initially, her parents didn't know what was happening to her. The only thing they understood was that their child's blood was getting low, and transfusions could only save her. It took them several months to diagnose it as thalassemia major. A long journey was destined before they could reach Sankalp India Foundation for BMT. We're happy to share that just a few days back, Tasmia got discharged and is now leading a healthy and disease-free life. Let us all welcome Tasmia's mother, Sartaj, and hear her journey through her words.
सबको नमस्ते। वो पहली बार है मैं स्टेज पर बात करना है, थोड़ा डर लग रहा है। ये मेरी बेटी अमीना है, अमीना तस्मिया इसका नाम। ये अभी थैलेसीमिया मेजर है, अभी ट्रीटमेंट हुआ है। कुछ बोलने के लिए घबराहट हो रही। संकल्प फाउंडेशन ने है बहुत मदद किया है इसको, फिर को दोबारा जन्म दिया है इसको। उसके पापा बात करेंगे मुझे।
आ जाइए सर, प्लीज आइए। Amina's father is here.
सबको नमस्कार है। सबसे पहला हमारे को इधर भेजा हुआ है आरडीडी हॉस्पिटल, और उनको इधर संकल्प इंडियन फाउंडेशन को शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ, क्योंकि हमारे बच्चे को दूसरा जन्म दिया है इन लोगों ने। हम लोग उधर आरडीडी ने बोला इधर जाओ बेंगलुरु में, और बच्ची का बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लेशन होगा। हम लोग उधर हम लोग घबरा गया, हम डर गया उधर, क्योंकि उधर जाएंगे तो उनका कैसे होंगे। हमारे को तो पहले से बच्ची का 5 महीने का बच्ची से हम लोग मालूम हुआ थैलेसीमिया हुआ है। हमारे को मालूम ही नहीं है थैलेसीमिया क्या है। हमारी ज़िंदगी में इस बीमारी भी आई, और हर महीना जाके बच्ची को ब्लड चढ़ाने लगे। फिर बाद में कोरोना आया, कोरोना का टाइम हम लोग बहुत मुसीबत में उठाए। अब बहुत मुसीबत ऐसी है, एक तरफ में कोरोना, एक तरफ में बच्ची का ब्लड कम हो जाएगा, और 10 दिन के बाद दिल के अंदर टेंशन और घबराहट पैदा हो जाएगा, क्योंकि अभी बच्ची का क्या हालत होगा क्या है मालूम नहीं। ब्लड चढ़ाना पड़ेगा। ये ब्लड चढ़ाने के लिए किधर जाना है? ब्लड चढ़ाने के लिए बच्ची को चाहिए ब्लड सेल्स चाहिए। सेल्स के लिए किधर मिलता है किधर नहीं। मामूल से गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में अपना हमारा गांव के गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में जाएगा तो उनका ओन ब्लड मिलेगा, और ओन ब्लड मिलेगा तो उनका कुछ बोलते बच्ची का कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगा। ऐसा ही हम लोग एक दिन गया कोरोना का टाइम, इधर एक गांव से दूसरा गांव जाने के लिए बहुत मुसीबत उठाई हम लोग, क्योंकि इधर जाएंगे तो उनका पुलिस का परमिशन चाहिए दूसरा गांव जाने के लिए। हम ऐसा मुसीबत में गए और जाके ब्लड लेके आके चढ़ा दिए। फिर दूसरा महीने में यही मुसीबत आ गया, तो दूसरा महीने में ब्लड किधर भी नहीं मिला। बच्ची को ओल ब्लड चढ़ा दिए। ओल ब्लड चढ़ाने के बाद बच्ची का हो गया वो जैंटिस हो गया, बुखार प्योर ज़्यादा हो जाके जैंटिस हो गया। जैंटिस में बाद में बच्ची को भी ठीक हो गया। फिर बाद में चंद दिनों के बाद आरडीडी में फिर दूसरा जगह में अनंतपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाके खोले। फिर जाके उधर जाके हम लोग ब्लड चढ़ाए, क्योंकि हमारा गांव के करीब में किधर भी ओल ब्लड ही मिलेगा और रेड सेल्स नहीं मिलता। फिर बाद में उन लोग इधर को हमारे को बेंगलुरु को जाने के लिए बोले। बेंगलुरु को जाने के लिए हम लोग बोले, हमारे को बहुत घबराहट चालू हो गया। उधर जाएंगे तो उनका क्या होगा मालूम नहीं है, नया डॉक्टर लोग है, मालूम नहीं है क्या कैसा है। लेकिन फिर भी उधर से इधर आए, हमारे को हिम्मत मिल गया, क्योंकि इधर संकल्प फाउंडेशन के जो डॉक्टर है इधर से इंडियन फाउंडेशन के डॉक्टर है, इधर आने के बाद हमारे को बहुत समझाया, बहुत से अच्छा से ठीक से बात किया, हमारे को बहुत समझाया। समझाने के बाद हमारे दिल के अंदर हिम्मत आ गई। हम लोग फिर बाद में बच्ची को भी गए, कोरोना फिर आ गया सेकंड वेव में बच्ची का, और उन लोग डॉक्टर लोग इधर बोले फलाना टाइम में तुम्हारा डेट होगा, आ जाए ऑपरेशन के लिए। लेकिन डोनर को और आके पेशेंट को दोनों को कोरोना हो गया। कोरोना मतलब हम लोग पॉजिटिव आ गया, पॉजिटिव इन दोनों को आया, मेरे को नेगेटिव आया, इन दोनों को पॉजिटिव आया। जो ज़रूरत के लोग हैं उन लोगों का आ गया। फिर बाद में उधर हम लोग टीका, उधर तो कोई सिम्टम्स नहीं है, लेकिन दिखाया कोरोना। फिर बाद में हम लोग इधर से कांटेक्ट करते थे, इधर के डॉक्टर लोग सर, अभिजीत सर हो, वो अर्चना मैडम हो, इधर आने के बाद बहुत उन लोग हमारे से हिम्मत दिए, उधर से फ़ोन किए करने के टाइम, हर टाइम हमारे को जवाब दिए उन लोग इधर से। इधर से आने के बाद हमारे बच्चे के इधर से दूसरा आ गया, बाद में आ गए, डेट दिए, ऑपरेशन हो गया। बच्चे का तो अभी तो ठीक है, बच्ची को तो दूसरा जन्म लिख गया समझे हम लोग, क्योंकि हमारा मुसीबत दूसरे को, ऐसे लोग बहुत से हैं, हम जैसे ही दुनिया के अंदर बहुत से लोग हैं। इन लोगों के लिए इसलिए जितने भी संकल्प फाउंडेशन, इंडियन फाउंडेशन के इधर से डॉक्टर लोग हैं, हर डॉक्टर्स और नर्स हमारे को हर इधर के जितने भी स्टाफ है हमारे को बहुत मदद किया, बहुत एहसान किया, उनका लाख लाख शुक्र है उनका हमारी ज़िंदगी भर भी उनको अदा करेंगे तो कमी होगा।
थैंक यू मैडम, थैंक यू सर। और सर मैडम ने हमको ज़्यादा हेल्प किया है, नीमा मैडम ने। हर एक टाइम कोई बात हमको पता नहीं, वो उसको पूछेंगे तो बता देंगे, ऐसा नहीं ऐसा होएंगे, रैश होएंगे, कुछ होएंगे, ऐसा सब समझ जाएंगे, समझ सकते हैं। अभी मैं कुछ नहीं बोल सकती हूँ, लेकिन मुझे
Corona is a difficult problem, and more so for children who have thalassemia, because they need to travel between villages or state to get blood. And with the lockdown and the restriction imposed by police, it can get very difficult to go to places, and even donors will not also donate blood. So that is the struggle that we saw for many thalassemia patients. Their thalassemia, they were managing at RDT Hospital, Batlapalli, which is in AP, right? Andhra Pradesh. And from there, they sort of recommended them to come to Bangalore for BMT. And when they did come here, Dr. Nima guided them through in terms of what BMT is, what it is to be done. And from their first meeting with Dr. Nima, they had hope that something can be done. But unfortunately, because of the travel, they had corona. The kid had corona. So there was another struggle of managing a thalassemia kid with corona. But we were lucky that they finally came to us, and all the support staff, Abhijit, Archana, and everyone guided them through, and we now have success in managing and curing the children through this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being part of this. May we invite Mr. Rajat Agarwal to deliver the vote of thanks.
it's always very hard to imagine how do we thank the people in this room. You heard these families. We just decided whoever is coming on that day, let them just come up and speak. I don't know how families get courage, how Amina's mother gets courage to come on the stage, hold this mic and start speaking. I can't use the traditional words to thank you, but I want to tell you what you do, what we do together. A parent walks in with a file into the OPD with the look on his face saying, maybe you should also just tell me that I can go back and nothing can be done for my child. The child was suffering from severe aplastic anemia, getting a blood transfusion every single day for last 3 months. They had drained their resources running pillar to post across the country. Father quit his job, just trying to find that one place where somebody could take care of him. The transplant itself, extremely complicated. High donor-specific antibodies. It's just, let's say, it was a recipe, very, very difficult to handle. He came here, he met the people in the room who had a choice to make. Either accept the fact that there is so little hope, so little chance for this kid to make it, that maybe it's just best to recommend some palliative care and let him be where he is. Or to put all the energies together and bite the bullet. No money available at that time. Family emotionally drained. Ladies and gentlemen, as we inaugurate the unit today, that kid, 3 floors up, is putting up a brave fight. His family knows that he was not abandoned. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. All that we know is, we, the people in this room, we, the people who are seeing us, Dr. Laurence, we put up a fight. And that's what matters. When we started building this beautiful hospital, this floor, I'm sorry. Do you know who did the virtual inauguration of this place? We are inaugurating the place today. But a girl who was transplanted 2 years back walked in with a terribly mixed chimerism, which meant her bone marrow was failing. In our country, the transplant is one thing. Once you discharge, the family is left to itself. Whatever we call a transplant, you are treated and left to yourself. During the pandemic, middle of the pandemic, a family traveled with a clear situation that if you don't do anything, in another few weeks, the transplant is going to go away. This unit received its first patient. Dr. Nima got her first patient in the form of a second transplant for a kid who was treated 2 years back. The ability of Abhijit to look into the eyes of a parent and say, don't worry, once we take you up for transplant, no matter what complication comes, no matter how difficult the journey is going to be, we may not be able to ease how you feel. It's your kid. But we are not going to let anything come in the way of providing the best standard of care. Elke, from your office, without even knowing these stories, this is what you make happen. Dkms team, all our donors, for that matter, even the people who worked overnight to get the facilities ready to be able to treat this patient. Even the people who did the magic to make sure in the middle of nothing you were able to transplant a kid. The people who could rise up to the occasion. If you want to hear the sound of thanks, it is from those families that I just want to deliver across to you. Amina mentioned the name RDT. Mr. Chandrakant Agrawal sir is sitting here. Where in a society that everybody wants to be able to establish themselves. Where do you find collaboration of the kind that we see here? People from across the countries putting aside any and every difference and putting on the table what they can for the best interest of the voiceless people. Ladies and gentlemen, this, in spite of whatever you've heard, is not a Sankalp program. It is not. It is our program, our fight for our children. Ladies and gentlemen, people can dream. People can have whatever dreams they want. People can wish whatever they want. They can dictate how the government should work, how institutions should work. But on behalf of all the patients that we have together cured, on behalf of all the families we have given hope to, the option to say that there will be my turn, I will be cured. On behalf of all these people, and in the spirit of our collaboration, in the spirit of us getting together to make it happen, a big round of applause to all of you. Thank you so much, Dkms. Thank you so much, all our donors. I wouldn't name because then I'll miss naming somebody. That facility is what you have created for the children. This program is what you have given to the children. And I am a selfish guy. I am going to leave you with a message. Let's be clear. Please see that logo. Please see this logo. This project logo is the representation of a banyan tree. A tree which does not promise to be the tallest. A tree which does not intend to have its own identity. A tree which does not even have a known main root. Ladies and gentlemen, people who are joining us from so far away, please find yourself in this tree. Which leaf are you, which root you are, which shoot you are, please find yourself in this tree. The facility is set up, hardware is there, team is there. To take us from here to a situation that this facility continues to deliver cure, deliver joy, deliver beauty, it will take immense effort and contribution from all of us. And this great opportunity that all of us have created for ourselves, I want to invite on behalf of all of us here, all of you to find your place inside this tree. Thank you so much.
As always, Rajat, thank you for your wonderful message. Thank you everyone for being part of this program. Thank you all for being part of this banyan tree.
In the initial days, Team Sankalp used to be just 100-odd student volunteers. In those days, the reward, the prize for getting assigned work done well was more work. We would like to extend the same thought to all of us as we inaugurate this bigger and better transplantation facility today.
Let us all challenge ourselves to work together to let this program become the next milestone in our legacy of continuous growth. Enough little children are in need of help. As tears are wiped from some faces, many more will wait for their chance. As we give to ourselves this program, let us work towards ensuring that we all together deserve to do more.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, with a lot of pride, please join us to sing the National Anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everyone. The lunch is requesting everyone to please come to the stage for a group photo. The lunch is served outside.